Indian Parliament monsoon session started on 18th of July and a Lok Sabha MP asked Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman some questions which majorly focused on RBI's stance on crypto. What was her response? Finance Minister said that RBI has expressed concerns about the destabilising effect of cryptocurrencies on the monetary and fiscal stability of a country and has recommended for framing of legislation for cryptocurrency market. Now, what became the headline was that she said RBI is of the view that cryptocurrencies should be banned. But she also talked about international collaboration on this. Cryptocurrencies are by definition borderless and require international collaboration to prevent regulatory arbitrage. Therefore, any legislation for regulation or for banning can be effective only after significant international collaboration on evaluation of the risks and benefits and evolution of common taxonomy and standards, unquote. So definitely the speculation remains the same as to what is the government aiming to do. Before the introduction of any bill, there would be a crypto consultation paper as well, which is currently awaited. Last month in the Central Bank's Financial Stability Report, the RBI Governor Shaktikant Das had said we must be mindful of the emerging risks on the horizon. Cryptocurrencies are a clear danger. Anything that derives value based on make-believe without any underlying is just speculation under a sophisticated name. So on one hand, government in the budget of 2022 said that flat 30% will be levied on gains from cryptocurrencies, and from 1st July 2022, 1% TDS is deducted on transfer of VDAs. And on the other hand, it is reiterating the stance of RBI wanting to ban the cryptocurrencies in its entirety. Crypto exchanges also had to withdraw usage of UPI in April after National Payments Corporation of India, that's NPCI, issued a statement. Now, to discuss this further, we have with us Dr. Aruna Sharma, practitioner, development economist, former member RBI Digitization Committee. A very warm welcome, Dr. Sharma. My first question has to be your initial reaction. Now, there are two parts of her statement. One, she talks about the global coordination, and second, the RBI part of it, where she says that RBI wants it to be banned. So, what would be your initial reaction?
Absolutely. I think that everything is at status quo of what we were a couple of months back. The RBI's apprehension that it will have a destabilizing effect on the monetary and fiscal stability, and therefore it should be banned. The Supreme Court has made it very clear that ban is not the answer. So that is written off. But then their apprehensions are still not addressed or not able to convince RBI that their apprehensions, there could be an answer. And if you look at her second statement of going global or having international collaborations for regulating the digital currencies, then yes, because it is completely borderless and the RBI's apprehension is more on cross-border transactions that may happen.
Sure.
So therefore, if you look at it, that we seems to be standing where we were, where absolutely no further steps we have taken, and its long-awaited draft policy on crypto is still, it's not in print for people to react. And equally important is that if you look at it, the taxation route has been adopted. So heavy taxation, whether it is a disruptor, whether it is a facilitator, is a problem.
Okay.
And still we have not defined what we mean by crypto, whether it is asset, commodity or something else. And that's why if I look at the RBI statement made by the finance minister, that confusion still stands in the policy making.
Of course, and these are some very strong words. As soon as there's a term ban in someone's statement, everybody gets scared. So will we be jumping the gun if we say a ban is near?
I don't think so. It will be very wise to go for jumping the gun, because what are the reasons for jumping the gun? You can say, okay, internationally two negative developments have taken place. One, the upheavals which has happened, and because of the inflation, the value of cryptos have come down drastically, but it has happened for every speculative market. So whether it is mutual fund, whether it is equities, stock shares, or whatever it is happening. Now, high gain is high loss. So yes, crypto had very high gain. So there was a very high loss. There has been a recovery in the last week in many of the cryptos. And you do have the second reason is many of the cryptos who have suspended their trade, therefore weakening the trust in the entire ecosystem of crypto. So if you look at it, those who were early entrants are still gaining, because today also Bitcoin is costing $20,000. It fell down from 39 to 20, but then it is much more than ₹1 cost at which the initial buyers must have purchased it. Those who were late entrants, they have to wait and watch. So if you look at the ban, if these are the triggers to ban it and some of the random fraud cases, then yes, it will be jumping the gun. It will not the correct thing to happen. And second thing, what is important is we should examine what is happening internationally. Why there are many countries, we all knew and talked about Singapore having the best one. EU also walking halfway towards regulating the cryptocurrencies. But now you have a strong US and Dubai coming up. You are talking about Singapore, which is talking about coming up for becoming a red carpet for Web 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, whatever will be the next version which will be coming in the market. So yes, this is a time not to go for a ban. Ban will be sort of hitting the innovations in this country very, very badly. It will result in a brain drain, which has already started happening in the sector.
Of course, and we've discussed that brain drain as well. And, on one hand, of course, there are people scared after this statement. But then on the other hand, there are several highly optimistic investors as well who are saying that, one way to look at the finance minister's response is that Indian government is softening its stance on crypto as it seeks global consensus. Would you agree?
See, I'll put it this way. Looking at the past performance over a couple of months, he doesn't seem to be moving an inch. It is off on statements either in the parliament or in the media, in the press briefings or in the parliamentary committee members, but nothing concrete is coming. So either way, making a statement doesn't help. But I strongly feel ban is not the answer, and that will be a wrong step to go for. And we must come out with a regulation when we are going ahead with it. And as you rightly said, the optimistic people, the volume is 15 to 20 million people to a cost, if in rupee value, or maybe in money value, if I say it is $6 billion of investment. So it's a big amount that the money is floating in this sector. So it has to be regulated, and it is speculative. If you put it as asset class, then it is with an informed decision the people are investing, and that is how it is going to work. So internationally also it's a big amount, right? So if you look at it, I think daily trade volume they say is $90 billion and the value is $1.7 trillion. So, and number of crypto exchanges is increasing. So under this scenario, India should watch, slowly step towards a dynamic resolution. And definitely, I don't think so ban is on the horizon. No.
Again, my biggest takeaway from this conversation is that we definitely need regulation. And there are several experts who've been pointing out the same point. But so there has to be regulation. But before the regulation comes, there will be a consultation paper as well. How soon you think we can expect a consultation paper on cryptocurrencies?
Ideally, it should have been yesterday, right? There has been enough consultations on the issue. And to stop this confusion and what I mentioned before, the brain drain which has started happening because others are putting a red carpet, it is very important to come up with this as early as possible.
Okay, and in the end, do you think, all of such statements or a sentiment which is created at the moment, it's denting the confidence of people who believe in the tech of it, maybe blockchain, metaverse?
It shatters the confidence, not the tech part or their confidence in the tech part and thinking that this is a brilliant product. But then it shatters their confidence whether they want to operate in the geographical boundary of India. That is where it starts doing. And they have options now. Like if you look at Dubai, they have come up what they call VARA. That is Dubai Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. And what are they talking about in it? They say they will allow operating and managing virtual asset platform services, exchange services, national or foreign, absolutely open. Then they are talking about one or more forms of virtual assets. They are talking about transfer of services. They are talking about asset custody, management services, right? So these are the kind of portfolio they are talking about. Similarly, if you look at EU, they are talking about consumer protection and safeguards against market manipulation or financial crimes. Otherwise, they are not talking about a ban, and their regulation is focusing how they will protect the consumer, in the sense better informed consumer. If you look at the US, there is a clear-cut move which is going ahead on allowing responsible innovation. And why nobody is dumping it? Because if you look at it, they are all interlinked. It is not that, okay, you can have a blockchain without the crypto. But then when you are looking at the whole thing, the metaverse, the cryptocurrency may be the separate concepts. But if you look at it, what fuels the metaverse? It is the crypto. That is where the money comes, which allows more and more innovations when you are going ahead with it. So to look at it, like several of the metaverse projects have one thing in common. They are all based on the Ethereum's blockchain technology. So there is an interconnection. So it is not easy to say, okay, we will have a wonderful blockchain and the metaverse also in future, but then, okay, it's a no-no for crypto when we are working upon it, because from where the money comes, the fueling has to come from somewhere. And now, like I said, these three countries plus Singapore also walking the way, options are available. So yes, it is disturbing them. They want to be in geographical boundaries of India, but maybe they will have to move their headquarters elsewhere, and which is not a happy situation. India missed Web 2.0. India should not miss the future versions of Web, because it is going to be an Indian brain, but ownership may not be India. So that is something I will personally not be ever happy about, and I am very sure the tech world will also not be very happy about.